and welcome to the mid-season finale of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. After Show. I am joined with some special guest hosts. First of all, everyone, I hope you remember Stephanie. And then also joining us is the Beyonce of after shows, Steve Tenney.
This is true. Thanks for having me and introducing me so nicely. I appreciate that.
You know, we figured mid-season finale, we gotta go big.
Yeah, we do. So we bring in Beyonce.
Nobody bigger than Beyonce. That's what it comes down
to. Just getting right into it. What did you guys think?
I am so sick of Ward. Can we just get rid of him? Like, especially in a post-Kilgrave era, we just need to be done with him. I'm over it.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of in the same boat. I was really hoping that we were going to see the end of Ward this week. His character's done. Yeah. He's reached the pinnacle of his arc. I honestly felt like at the end of last season, we should have been done with him.
Yes.
I think they're stretching him a little further than he needs to be stretched at this point. Great actor. I mean, the guy does the job. There's no doubts there, but I don't, holding on to the whole, I'm part of Hydra thing for him is just, feel like it's over. It's done.
Well, we're going to get to Ward a little bit later, but for me, honestly, to me, this was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Empire Strike Back because, in my opinion, they lost.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that. But yeah, they definitely lost, even though they were all high-fiving and giving hugs at the end of the episode.
So who's Luke and who's Leia and who's Han?
Not getting into that. But let's start with Mack and the Secret Warriors and their little invasion. First of all, Mack calling the Secret Warriors the Power Rangers was outstanding. But Mack actually, compared to Coulson, was tactically sound.
Yeah, I thought he actually made a better director than Coulson did, because Coulson's been too emotional and too self-pitying, and they're throwing in these weird subplots to give him motivation. I think Coulson lost it a long time ago, so Mack is great.
I agree. Coulson's been compromised, right?
Yeah.
We know that. His emotions and who he is as the director, especially with Rosalind this season, he's just not there. He's Coulson, he's going to be part of the team. He's the show at this point, effectively, right? Mm-hmm. But Mack is more sound, cold, plain and simple, to the point. And I also like the fact that he's kind of leading this team of supers, effectively, when he's been the character through the previous season that was kind of, didn't want any part of him. Mm-hmm. He was separated, and it's interesting to see that dynamic is how he's taking on them, kind of in a father role, kind of directing and showing how things go. So I like Mack. Who doesn't like Mack? The guy is huge and gorgeous. Mack. Totally straight, totally gorgeous.
Yeah. He's actually the anti-Ward, if you think about it, because they started on the same path with him not knowing that he was in Hydra, although Ward knew. But he has become the stronger character. He's become the more relatable. He's the audience proxy that Coulson was supposed to be. And so he has definitely usurped that position.
Yeah, and to jump off what you're saying, he was a secret S.H.I.E.L.D. agent as well, just like Ward was a secret Hydra agent. Yep. So we got that going for him as well.
So get rid of Ward and
dump him.
Keep Mack.
Be done.
So Mack, like you said, was very anti-powers.
Yes.
Yet he used them very effectively, and it felt like this was a lot of fan service with how they were used.
Yeah.
You had Joey, who was totally fanboying at himself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so did I. I fanboyed at him.
It was a really great use of the character, and even May, in her moment where it was kind of like, it would be really nice if we had someone with electrical powers right now.
Exactly.
Kind of like, hey, Lincoln, remember what you can do?
But it was also May showing that she trusted him enough to do his job again.
Absolutely.
Which had to happen, because I think otherwise Lincoln constantly would have been afraid of himself.
And, well, the characters have to grow together, too. May has to show at some point that she really trusts him after this whole extended period of Lincoln effectively telling May, I don't want any part of you, I don't trust you. Now May is saying, okay, I'll take the first step. I'll be the person he trusts.
Yeah.
One thing about Bullet Melty Guy.
That's going to be his codename.
I feel like they had this scene specifically set up way, way in the past, and they gave him these powers specifically for this scene.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
That's obvious.
It's such a random power. Like, I can melt metal from a distance. Like, that's not anything I've ever heard before.
That's a thing.
That's a thing?
Isn't it?
The entire siege was written around showcasing the powers.
Oh, absolutely.
It was, now Lincoln's going to do his thing. Now Skye's going to, or Daisy's going to
Quake. Let's call her Quake.
shake everything for a few minutes. And
Yeah, when are we going to get Quake? When are we going to get the official call signs?
I hope it's soon.
It'd be nice.
Because after this winter finale, it's like a reset.
Yeah.
It is.
You
yeah.
know, because everyone's proved themselves as a team, so everyone can stop being babies and feeling sorry for themselves and actually come into their own powers. Because she did say, there was that line where she said, maybe I'll now finally get my team.
now, last thing of the team that I wanted to talk about, Gemma, who made some major mistakes this episode.
Major.
But she's carrying around with her PTSD shiv.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming,
Yeah.
that she's still had that. But she is going to have a lot to deal with.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the
Yeah.
person she needs to help her through that is the mass murderer she released.
True. Well, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if psychiatrist versus monster. I don't know if psychiatrist or psychologist exists anymore.
I don't think he's
He's
there
gone,
anymore.
right?
He's
I mean,
he's
even
gone.
the way that he was talking to Gemma through the
That was
glass,
so creepy.
it's desperate and it's
Yeah.
not in control. It's somebody who has to get this out. He let loose.
Almost like
And he-
they needed a fix.
Yeah, and he
Absolutely.
transforms so quickly. Like, normally it takes him a little bit.
Okay, I text Bryan during the show. That's the best CGI transformation they've had this season.
Yes, it
was
is.
clean. It looked good.
Yeah.
A couple of the other ones where, you know, it's like, bend over, stand back up, he's a monster. Like, it was a little hokey, but that was spot on.
It was
Big
very
fan.
Georges Méliès.
Yep.
Whatever that means.
Yep.
So, but this episode also had a lot of what I would consider the very typical Marvel humor. We had, I said it earlier, the Power Rangers line, the
Yeah.
Tatooine line.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Hunter
Totally.
in the castle where they're trying to figure out where they are, and he just starts waving his arms.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to see Bobby's fight through the iPad.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been good. With
Me
the heat
too.
signatures,
Yeah.
that would have been really good.
Because she's amazing. And instead it was just like a cutaway, and he's like, are we supposed to follow her? Well, I guess we are. Yeah.
Yeah. The
So-
lines this episode were great. There was tons of
The
good ones.
dialogue was great. Hunter was just the entire time was like, well, what happens if the monster gets through? Well, I'm gonna run away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
Well, what it was is they got back to themselves. They stopped taking themselves so seriously.
Yeah.
Because what was happening before is they took themselves so seriously, and then they'd be like, haha, look, we're funny too. It's like, no,
Yeah.
you can't have it both ways. You need to be tongue-in-cheek about literally everything.
Yeah, and you know, he actually sums up the entirety of the show with one of the lines he uses where he says, we're going to make a plan, that plan goes to shit, and then
Yes.
we're going to run with it.
Love that.
That is the show.
that
The
is
whole
entirely the show. Exactly.
Is-
It should be called The Plan Got Screwed about
Exactly.
8 plans ago, and
Yeah.
then, you know, we're also
Agents of Rubbish.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Agents of Rubbish. Yeah.
Agents
So-
of Mishap.
Mishap. Yes.
There you go. If you are watching, you can join us in the chat room, but also throughout the week, make sure to join us on Twitter with the hashtag AOSAS. But let's get to the planet. Coulson and Ward.
Yeah.
That was some heavy stuff. I know certain people were screaming, "Just shoot him in the face, Coulson!"
Yes. Oh my God, I did not need the exposition.
You mean Ward's little cult talk?
Yeah.
That sounded a lot like, "I believe everything our divine leader wants, and I will drink the Kool-Aid."
See, here's the thing I don't get is Ward, especially for this part of the season, has been very much like, you know, the old ways are dead. They don't matter. The new Hydra is going to be this specific thing that we make it. And suddenly Malik steps in, and he's right back into clicking his heels and saluting as a soldier instead of the leader that he was trying to make himself. I don't get that. I don't get why they changed that character.
That was a
quickly.
rough
transition.
They had that conversation,
Yeah.
but it still felt like, I don't know, forced. It was a very forced.
It was convenient.
It was extremely convenient.
Yeah.
And like I said, it just doesn't make sense to me. Me personally, I'm suddenly the head of a major crime organization. This other guy comes in and goes, "No, you work for me now." It's not going to go over so easy. I mean, you still want to maintain that power, and I don't think that's necessarily a crime organization thing. That's anybody would be in that situation would probably hold the same.
Yeah.
So
Okay, but the
little rough.
question, and there's been a lot of debate about this. Coulson kills Ward in a very intimate, very brutal way.
Thank God.
Was it too much?
No.
Was it justified?
It was justified, and it should have happened about, like, I don't know, 18 episodes prior.
Yeah.
So how do you really feel?
I don't know. Maybe next time I won't hold back.
You're right. It was extremely intimate. I mean, eye contact the whole time, and the reality of how he killed him. There was eye contact. He was in it. They were together.
His hand on his heart, and they locked eyes.
He broke his heart the same way that Ward broke his heart.
Bam!
Yeah,
that's why he mic dropped his hand.
Exactly.
Okay, I saw someone commented at the end of with the Hydra reveal in season 1, Ward killed Hand, Victoria Hand, and now Coulson killed him with his
God,
hand.
I hope that's not a thing.
And
please don't let that.
It's bad, I know. Everyone on the internet is clever, right, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone, you're all clever.
Everybody just loves to hear themselves talk.
Especially about hands.
Yeah. There was there was a job done by hands. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
Oh,
Ward did have. They kind of were having Ward a little like, okay, whatever, we're here, until he saw the giant Hydra sandcastle.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. That's not going to suddenly give him a religious moment where he's like, oh, I get it. No, you don't. You're a terrible person.
Yeah.
You're a two-dimensional character. Nobody likes you, so they have to do something with you.
Well, Daisy explains him. I feel like Daisy gives a new facet of Ward every week. Like, she over-explains him, like, oh, no, he's really just a sad little child who never learned to deal with pushing his brother in a well.
Justifying his existence.
Yeah, they are. It's exactly what they're doing.
Here's the reason why he's here, because nobody likes him.
Exactly, and they're trying to convince the audience of the same thing every week.
Okay, but at least now, his backstory does not matter at all.
Right?
Okay, I disagree. I don't think that Slug Monster is a sentient being into itself. I think the Slug Monster is going to pilot Ward and use Ward's memory, his brain, all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's what it does.
Yeah, exactly, because he knew things Will knew.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're done with Ward.
But he still. We'll get into that. Okay. We'll get into that.
Hold that thought.
So Ward, they're on this planet, and we finally do get a little more information from Will.
Yeah.
As they're walking through the no-fly zone.
Which I loved.
Mm-hmm. And we see this completely obliterated planet. Now, we find out there are apparently only 9 cities on this planet, which really had me screaming Battle World. Mm-hmm. But that was too much. But 9 cities, they went to essentially had a giant planet-wide civil war, and they wiped everything out. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, there are almost millions of planets in the Marvel Comics. The one that is closest that I could find is a planet by the name of Prosilicus. And this is the first planet that the Watchers ever visited before they became Watchers. This was a planet they shared all of their technology with to try and better that planet. Maybe a week after they leave, they've turned all of that technology, which was all nuclear, into weapons and killed each other.
Which is essentially the history that Will gave him.
Exactly, and so that's what Will explains. So I think this is a good parallel for what...
No, go ahead.
What if it's a Watcher?
The little slug monster?
Maybe it's
Jinx.
not. Maybe it's not the slug monster. What if it's a Watcher?
You know, there's definitely a possibility there. I think it's probably... I'm going to go with Bryan. I think that it lends itself most definitely to the history of Prosilicus.
Yeah.
I'm interested because the S.H.I.E.L.D. has taken on some of the characters that are impossible to translate to cinema in a serious way.
Yeah.
And Uatu is definitely one of those characters. So I kind of wonder, are we going to see a Watcher get integrated into this show in some fashion or another?
And I'm going to say no.
You don't think so?
No?
I think we will see a Watcher in the Infinity Wars.
Well,
I do not think we will see it in
Can't they
Agents
do
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
both?
No. The TV and the movies are like fighting brothers. They don't want to do anything
They
together.
love each other.
They don't.
Yes, because their mother tells them to.
Exactly.
So they're King Richard and King John.
So, okay,
Sure.
but let's talk about Will. You are very excited for the Watcher theory, but myself and a lot of people online really like the character of Hive. And this is a character, like so many other things in the show, comes directly out of the Secret Warriors comic book.
Right.
And it's a Hydra creation. So it lends itself so well to what we've learned. It's parasitic, it takes over hosts, it basically brings Lady Viper back from the dead and is controlling her to a certain extent.
Until Norman Osborn.
Until, yeah, but details. So, I mean, it is a very strong possibility, and it makes a lot of sense, and it's easy, because it's not a character that will ever be in the movies.
No, exactly.
What if Will is a watcher? Bam! If I could take my hand off, I'd throw it down.
You have broken my heart.
Dead Will, who got...
oh, not Will, sorry. Fitz.
Fitz? I'm lost.
What?
What if Fitz is a watcher? Come on.
I'm gonna posit an even more far-fetched story that I think is more believable than what we just heard right now.
Because that was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was amazing.
The slug monster is in fact one of the aliens from James Gunn's Slither, and we're now tying everything back together. Did you ever
Mine's better.
It probably is. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so
Point of contact.
make sure you're talking in the chat room. We're going to check that out, but we are just going to take a break right now. So stay tuned. We will be back in just a minute.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
How did you not figure that out?
We had a crazy vampire threesome.
And you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
That was like, how did you get here? No. Look at me, I'm dancing.
You know why we saying yes. You know why we saying yes.
Wait, something.
We're like, inseparable. She was shadier than Sunglass Hut with Ray-Bans on sale, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it wasn't. Come on.
You just went to a totally different direction on that.
When a billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
Oh man, looking forward to this fight.
Ooh, they about to get together. Watch, it's about to go down.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
You just slapped the crap out of me.
And he's just you know, you can't count anything out.
Look at you.
It's been another awesome night at theStreamtv, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us, you guys.
Yes.
We love you.
Hey guys, welcome back. And there's been a lot of conversation going on, a lot of crazy comments, but just a couple to get us off from Twitter from the other day. Steve, what do we have from the Twitter sphere?
Well, we've got @Vime Fontana saying that last look between Coulson and Fitz as the episode ended, though! ! #chills, #Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, it was impressive. We see Fitz see Coulson as a killer, a cold-blooded killer. He had a man who is his hostage, effectively.
Yeah.
A fight broke out, and he had the opportunity to re-shackle him, if you will, and he killed him. Coulson's character has changed.
Coulson's character has changed.
Yeah.
Coulson's look was, if you say anything,
Yeah. Don't let
I'll
it
get
out.
another robot hand and break your heart.
But everybody knew that that's where it had to go. Even Ward's brother was like, for the love of God, if you do this, you have to kill him.
Yeah, it needs
and
to
so
end.
he had to kill him.
Agreed.
He had no other choice. So nobody's going to look at him differently. They're going to be like, thank you, because that guy shouldn't exist as a character anymore.
I will say, Fitz was very ballsy this episode and tried to kill Ward himself.
Yeah,
So
bless.
maybe it was a sign of, hey, bro.
See, I think it was a sign of respect.
Hey, bro, thanks, man.
Yeah, I think
Well-
everybody's going to feel better about it because everybody wanted him gone. Everybody had their own specific reason for wanting Ward dead.
Well, Fitz was damaged in a very personal way by Ward.
Yeah.
So he was looking for the kill. I think it was Honestly, it was a little bit of how it went down.
I think Coulson enjoyed it too much is the problem.
I agree.
Is that a problem?
That it wasn't.
Or is it about time?
I think therapists would say that's a problem.
Don't disagree there.
Okay.
What else is going on?
Okay, so at TV Campfire says, what was with Coulson dropping his hand on the planet? Was this his version of a mic drop?
That's what I said.
Yep.
That's exactly what I
Agents of
said.
At Clark Gregg. Here's my question. That technology is got to be expensive. Like, what kind of budget does S.H.I.E.L.D. operate on that they can just willy-nilly leave robotic hands on foreign planets?
Have you seen their plane?
Yeah, but I guess. I'm just saying, it's still, even, you know,
Look at it this way.
not
This
cost
is
effective to just leave limbs lying around.
Look at it this way. They had their massive budget and whatever slush fund Fury had. And then their entire operation got downsized by what? 1,000%?
Yeah.
They had a lot of
They had
extra.
money left over?
They had money to burn, in my
Let that
opinion.
go.
So here's my theory as to why he left the hand. I think there is a part of Coulson that wanted to leave that behind.
Yeah.
He didn't want to take
Right.
the murder weapon back with him because it would always be associated with crushing a man's heart.
Well, and for someone who keeps souvenirs,
Yeah.
that was very symbolic that he did not want to remember his loss.
Yeah.
So
And he, like you're saying, he's leaving it behind. That part of himself, you know, Rosalind, what Ward had betrayed him, all those things, he was leaving them behind. He was done with it.
Yeah.
And us as an audience, we were also hopefully done with it.
Yeah.
But no, we weren't.
and that takes us to the chat room. And I'm going to say Daniel Myers has this comment. Why do you think the Ward thing brought Coulson's hand back? Do you think that has Ward's memories, or it's something with Ward's memories? Well, and yeah, we know he has Ward's memories. This entity has clearly shown it can access the memories of whoever the host is. But I think this is going to be some sort of personal, almost like he's going to leave the hand somewhere for Coulson to see as a warning.
So creepy.
Very creepy.
But not like creepy good.
But you know what? I will say, as much as we talked about being done with Ward and Ward being time to move on, the walking Ward at the end was pretty. It had a level of creep to it. It was effective.
Think so?
I did.
See,
I did.
I've been so spoiled by Jessica Jones and an actual villain that these rubbish, shallow villains with gimmicks, it just doesn't work anymore. It doesn't. Everyone's going to start expecting more. So
totally
Zombie Ward, give me a break. It would have been scarier to bring back Will because then they could have manipulated Gemma.
Yeah, but he's a pile of ash now. What are you going to do with that?
A lot of lotion.
Maybe he could, because when he brought back.
Rehydrate him.
Yep.
Wow. Can I talk about Slug Monster and what he did?
Do it.
Because when they brought back Viper, all of her bullet wounds were healed, so he could have
reconstituted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility inside the Marvel universe.
Yeah, it would have been more interesting, I think, than literally bringing a dead character back to life. Let him go.
So
it's terrible.
Final thoughts. Do you think it was a good mid-season finale?
No.
Steve.
I feel like there's no possible way to answer that succinctly. There was aspects of it
you
that
say
were
yes or no.
There's aspects of it that were fantastic, and other aspects where I was like, I really feel like they took convenient and easy ways out on it. Overall, it served its purpose. We got everybody back together. There's a little weird tension going on between Coulson and May at the end of the episode, which we liked. So hopefully we'll see more of that. There was definitely positives. There was. Go back, rewatch it. There's a weird there's a hug.
It's an awkward hug?
Yeah, I think it's just a little more than we're buddies.
It was just ferocious pairing off.
Have you been shipping?
Yeah, it was.
Everyone saw Lincoln and Daisy kissing. They're like,
yeah.
Okay, everyone get a buddy.
Right?
Poor Mack.
May and Coulson were like.
So, okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead and click that subscribe button for all of the amazing stuff that's going on here at the After Show. And on Twitter, don't forget to use the hashtag AOSAS and join us in the conversation. We got a long time to talk about what's coming up, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't join the conversation. Let us know who you think Zombie Ward is, and let us know what you think's happening in the second half of Season 3. So, for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. After Show, I'm Brian. Thank you so much to my guest hosts, Stephanie and Steve.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
See you guys in March.
For more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after show, be sure to hit that subscribe button and
subscribe to theStream.tv.